Welcome to another episode, everyone. What happens to non-affiliates in prison? If you do not gangbang, you are not a part of any faction whatsoever. Will you and can you survive in prison, a maximum security prison, and you don't have anyone bagging you up? Are non-affiliates prey? Are they targets there in prison? People often ask me this. Man, can I make it in there? Will my brother make it and he doesn't gangbang? Well, that depends. Yes, non-affiliates are sometimes targets there in prison. Now, there's a big difference between non-affiliates in prison and non-affiliates in the Los Angeles County Jail. Totally different in their experience, and their threat margin or meter is different in prison as opposed to the Los Angeles County Jail. I'll get into the non-affiliates in the Los Angeles County Jail and what they go through and how you can survive. Right now, speaking about prison, if you go to prison and you are a non-affiliate, what you want to do is the same thing that you would do if you go to prison and you were a member. And that is mind your own business. Follow the rules and the protocols that I set forth just yesterday in my video about respect, not dealing with the police, and not showing any fear. What you do not want to do if you are a non-affiliate is go to prison and straddle the fence. I've seen it happen many times over. I don't gangbang, but I grew up in the Hoover neighborhood. I grew up in the Bloods, the Crips, whatever. So you look up and dude is in a cell with the Hoovers or the East Coasters or the gangsters. He only sells up with them. On the yard, he works out with them. You know, he eats with them. But then he says that he doesn't gangbang. Well, that's rather suspicious. The rest of the people on the yard, for the most part, are going to see you as a member. They're going to see you as someone who does gangbang, period. And if they see you as someone who gangbangs, then you're a target. Because they're going to say, well, you only don't gangbang when the shit hits the fan. But on a day-to-day basis, you're hanging out with these people that you say, but you say you're not affiliated with them. But you are affiliating with them every day. If you are a non-affiliate, then do not affiliate with anyone in particular. I don't care if you grew up in the neighborhood, because he might say, well, I know Crazy Cuz, and I know B-Bone. I grew up in their neighborhood, bro. He used to fuck with my sister. It's like you're a part of the culture. You just don't gangbang, but you know all of these dudes in this particular neighborhood, and that happens. You just thankfully did not become a part of that stupid ass game, because gang banging is indeed stupid. I used to frown upon non-affiliates. Like everyone else thought that they were soft, or you don't bang, you ain't nothing, you ain't no gangster. But that's not true. Many men don't gang bang. They wear glasses, they might be squares and all that, but straight got way more heart than me. They just haven't been put in a situation where they've had to exhibit that. Maybe they grew up in Beverly Hills, but that doesn't mean that they're not a gangster. That doesn't mean that they're not a man. And this is where people get it twisted. I no longer have these beliefs. And so you may have grown up in the culture, and you may even be intrigued by it, but you were able to stay away to officially being put on to any gang. But you grew up in the neighborhood. You know everybody there. And so when you get to prison, you're hanging out with the group of the neighborhood that you grew up in. Well, again, if you're hanging out with them and you're in a cell with them and all this just because you know them, people are going to think that you're straddling the fence. So the first thing that you should do. My first advice to a non-affiliate would be to do not straddle the fence, to go in there and say, I don't gang bang, so I don't hang out with any. I don't care if I know y'all from the street. I don't care if I grew up in that neighborhood. Now I'm in prison and I'm not from that neighborhood. And everything is sectioned off and separated here in prison. You either are or you are not. And if you are not, then make that known and make that clear by the way that you comport yourself. I don't hang out with anyone. I talk to the Crips. I talk to the Bloods. I talk to the Hoover. I'm just a cool black dude that don't gangbang. I talk to everybody. I'm in a cell with a non-affiliate. I've seen many non-affiliates, they sell up with each other, sell up with a non-affiliate. Now, sometimes you might have to sell up with a Crip or a Blood, depending on the circumstances in the prison. You know, they might not have another space for you. They might not have a cell open for you where you can go with a non-affiliate or going to cell by yourself. This the only cell that we got for you. You got to go in there with this Hoover or this Blood or this Crip for right now. Okay, so you might see a non-affiliate in a cell with a Blood or a Crip, but it's still going to be known this person does not gangbang. This person is not a member. They just put him in a cell with this person. But again, if you willingly go in a cell with a Blood or a Crip or a Hoover or whatever, because this is where you grew up at, and then when he leaves, you're going to cell with another one, and they're going to say, man, this dude, he has too many close ties to them. He says he doesn't gangbang, but when the shit hits the fan, we might have to get his ass too. We're going to stab him too, because we don't trust him. And that's the bottom line. So, again, I can't emphasize that enough. Do not straddle the fence. Now, you have so-called tunas that are non-affiliates. In the county jail, we call them a tuna. And in prison, we call them tunas. A tuna is a turned up non-affiliate. Get it? Tuna. Turned up non-affiliate. You don't want to be a tuna. You don't want to be a non-affiliate and be turned up at the same time. I've seen them. They hit the yard. They talking loud. They're not saying Blood or Cuz or Groove, but they talking about, they saying the end. Yeah, I knocked that ninja out. I knocked so I beat the shit out. You know, I stabbed so and so up. You in the yard talking about who you knocked out in the county jail. That's a member. I knocked so and so from Hoover out, but you a non-affiliate. That's not going to go over well for you. Do not be a tuna. Do not be a turned up. Now, if you're a non-affiliate, now, this doesn't mean, again, do not be a man. Because I've said, do not show any fear. I'm saying you can be a man. If that's what you are, that's what you're going to be anyway. You are a man. Be that. Because if you show fear, they're really going to prey upon you. So don't show the fear, but just don't be turned up. I guess it's a happy medium. I guess you have to walk a fine line, but not necessarily. You just be a man, but just don't be turned up. Just don't be extra out. Being extra out is not good even for a gang member on the yard. You have cold-blooded, cold-hearted killers there on the yard. And they are not turned up. Their reputation precedes them. You know who they are before they hit the yard. He's running that car. He's a strong individual. He's a cold dude. He's from way over there, but you still know about him. I know many people like that. Even that individual hits the yard and shows immense respect to everyone. He's not turned up and he's not extra out. We all know he's a killer. So you don't have to be turned up and extra out. But you can't be approaching people aggressively and all turned up, because it's not going to end well for you. And if a real OG killer from his hood is showing respect on the yard to everyone and is humble, then how come a non-affiliate believes he's going to be able to hit the yard and be a tuna, be a turned up non-affiliate, and be aggressive with members? It's not going to end well for you. So don't tuck your tail, but don't be turned up. I know someone, we call him Charlie, that was in Corcoran, non-affiliate dude, and he grew up in a certain neighborhood. But he still wasn't, pushing with those dudes. They had his back though, but he wasn't pushing with them. Everyone saw Charlie as completely neutral. He, for a while, had everything on the yard. That Down Down Baby, that Snoop Dogg, the illicit stuff. He was making all of the money. You say, well, how can a non-affiliate make all the money? The members, the Crips and the Bloods, and whomever on the yard starving, and he making all the money, and they just let that happen. They ain't go rob him or whatever. No, because Charlie wasn't a coward, and everybody knew that. He'd fight, he'd stab, he'd do all that. If you're a non-affiliate and something happens racially, and you show up, you're gonna have your respect. If something happens and where people feel like they need your support, black people need your support, and you're there because you're black, you're just a non-affiliate, but you have to be involved anyway when something goes down, because they're not gonna not attack you because you're not a member. If you're black and it's a race situation, your ass is involved. And you show up to those situations, you're gonna have a lot of respect, just like a member would. Some people say, well, if you're not an affiliate, you can't go to the canteen and spend all that money every month because these members, they're going to spend $30 and $40 a month. You're going to spend $200. They getting hungry. They like, man, let's get this dude. Who does he think he is? So you can't be a man. You can't go to the canteen. Hell, yeah, you can. Just don't be arrogant and, don't be flossy about it. Just go about your day-to-day business and take care of business, and you'll make it home like anyone else. Now, yes, I've witnessed situations where non-affiliates are preyed upon. It's happened a couple of times. It depends on what yard you hit and who was there and what the camaraderie is like in the unity with black people. If we're all together on that yard, then no one's going to let anyone just start robbing these non-affiliates just because they don't gangbang. Black people are going to stand up for you and say, no, bro, I've seen situations where dudes try to get at non-affiliates and the whole gang or all black people will say, if you put your hands on them, bro, we going to crash you. This how much love they have for this dude. Dude don't bother nobody. He ain't turned up. He mind his own business. He a man. He one of us. He with us, bro. He black. If you put your hands on them or rob them, we are going to crash you. We're going to pulverize you. I've seen it happen. I've seen people get pulverized for taking advantage of non-affiliates, especially ones who are a little bit more weak and can't really, defend themselves in that way. They're a little bit scared to defend themselves because they're going up against someone that is a member and they know that this person has backup. And sometimes this is what causes people to join gangs even there in prison and become a member because they want that camaraderie and that backup. But most do not. Most stay down and be non-affiliates. If you're a non-affiliate, then you don't have to gangbang in prison. You don't have to become a member in prison or the county jail. You go and you stand down, 10 toes down. I don't gangbang. I mind my own business. I'm cool with all the blacks. I mess with the blacks. I'm pro-black, whatever. Something happened. I got my people back, and that's it. But I don't mess with, I'm not going to the cell with Bloods, Crips, none of that. I'm in the cell with non-affiliates. I don't want to be in the cell with anyone else but a non-affiliate. Okay, fine. You have that option. You have that right to do that. And you stand on that. And that's it. Just don't be a tuna. Don't be turned up. Mind your own damn business. Because some things that a person, an individual may let so-and-so get away with because so-and-so is a part of such and such car. He's a member from such and such. And them dudes, they ain't no joke. They on the yard thick, they deep. They been stabbing shit on the yard. If they have a war with someone, they immediately take care of business. You know this. So-and-so's from there. He on the yard pushing them dudes. So-and-so does something. Let's say CC does something. And he's a part of this car. And then old John, shout out to my boy John, my non-affiliate, my partner John. He don't gangbang square and all that, but a real one, a man. like I was talking about, you don't gang bang, but you're still a man. So John over here with his glasses, he does something. He does the same thing that Cece did, the exact same thing. But they all want to come down on John for what he did. But they want to let it slide when Cece does it because of his car, because of his backup, because crazy cuz is supporting his car and he didn't already stab 10 people on the yard. So we gonna let that go. But you, John, you did it? Yeah. You ain't got no backup. And we a whole car. We finna crash you. That's it. So you just want to, because you're not a member and you don't have that backup, again, don't tuck your tail, but don't put yourself out there. Don't put yourself on Front Street as a non-affiliate. You go about your day-to-day work, your day-to-day business like a member should do as well. If your presence is felt, it's just because of how you're carrying yourself on the yard. It's not because you're running your mouth. It's not because you're saying what you have done or will do. You're just letting your actions speak. That's for a member. That's a man, period, on the yard. Member or non-affiliate. But particularly if you are a non-affiliate, then yes, sir. You just want to be a little bit quiet. Don't ruffle any feathers. Don't be loud. Don't be boastful. Do not be a tuna. Just chill. Now, again, I can't emphasize this enough that I'm not saying do not be a man. Because, I don't want you guys to think that I'm sending a mixed message. Well, you're saying chill and basically, hide ourselves, but at the same time, you're saying don't show any fear and be a man. Sir, be a man. Do not show any fear to anyone. And you should not show any fear about anything. We all have to go one day. Don't start any trouble. But protect yourself and protect your family if it comes to you. So I'm saying, still, yes, be a man and don't show any fear. But you can do that without being arrogant, boastful, and turned up. That's whether you are a member or a non-affiliate, as I said. Just be even keel. Just be cool. Just be calm. Don't be rambunctious there on the yard. You'll just draw the attention and ire of everyone. People there are miserable. People want to get out. They want to come home. They're violent. They've been through violence. They've been locked up for a long time. And you coming in there irritating them and aggravating them, and you don't have any backup, well, you're asking for trouble. So, can non-affiliates make it in a maximum security prison? What happens to non-affiliates in a maximum security prison? Nothing that doesn't happen to anyone else who doesn't comport himself in the correct manner. The same thing that will happen to a member if he does not conduct himself and comport himself in the right manner will happen to you as a non-affiliate, perhaps more readily so. Again, because you are not an affiliate. Some things that someone may let slide with me, they may not let it slide with you. So, yeah, you can say that you should take extra precaution as a non-affiliate. Stand firm. I stand on that. Stand firm as a man, but just don't ruffle any feathers. But you should do that whether you're a non-affiliate or a member. Are non-affiliates more of a target than members? Yes, of course. With some people in the yard, with some wolves, with some predators who see you as a weakling, as someone of no strength, because you don't have any numbers, you don't have any backup. You're not that physically strong yourself. They're not worried about you. You might be a little weak. Yeah, you could be a target, especially if you bring attention upon yourself. But again, that depends on where you're at, because there are some yards where the blacks are going to say, he's not a target. Don't do anything. You're not going to touch him. Don't touch that brother. Don't do nothing to that brother. You're a coward if you try to, and we're going to crash you, and you're a coward because you won't do it to me. You ain't pressing me like that. So what you pressing up on him for? Only because you know he's a non-affiliate and that he's not a member and that he doesn't have this backup. So you're going to press him? You're a coward then. And it's true. You are a coward if you do that. So some blacks are, at times, they're going to stand up for you, depending on the situation and where you at and how you've been carrying yourself. It's non-affiliates that have a lot of love on the yard, bro. A lot of love. And it's even better for them because they have love from everyone. Crips, Bloods, non-affiliate, because they don't have any ops. And so if you're just a cool dude, then, if you a Hoover, certain people ain't going to openly show love for you. If you're a neighborhood, certain people are not going to openly show love for you, even if they respect you. Like, oh yeah, he a gangster, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's my op though on this yard right here. We might have to kill each other one day, but he's a cold motherfucker. They gonna they give you that respect, but they're not gonna openly show you love. But if you're a non-affiliate and you have that love coming from everyone because of the way that you carry yourself, then you're gonna get love openly from everyone. Crips, Bloods, it doesn't matter because they can openly show you that love without worrying about how it looks for them because you're an op. So if you're a non-affiliate, you have some advantages in there. If you just keep a low profile, stand on business, be a man, don't get involved in any gang activity. As I said at the beginning of this video, do not straddle the fence. That's the main thing. Do not, I don't bang, bro, but I'm cool with the Hoovers. I mess with them. I kick it with them. It's a lot of people that do that. I would advise you not to do that. It may be genuine. It may be true that you grew up over there in the A-Tray gangsters. You grew up over there from knee high. And you just you just never got put on. But you know all about the culture. You smoke, you chill. You in there for whatever, a robbery or something. You're a young hog too. You just don't bang. But you kick it with the gangsters. Or you kick it with the Bloods. Again, because of where you grew up at. No. You get in there and you say, what's up, so-and-so? I grew up in your neighborhood or whatever, but here on the yard, I'm not messing with y'all. I'm not messing with anybody. I'm not messing with y'all no more than I mess with the Bloods. I'm not messing with the Bloods no more than I mess with the Crips. I'm neutral. I am a non-affiliate, period. It's not, I'm cool with y'all. I grew up over there, so I'm going to sell with y'all. Every time anyone sees me on the yard, I'm walking the yard to track with one of y'all. Every time they see me working out, I'm in y'all car, in y'all circle, doing my burpees. Every time. But when the shit hit the fan, I'm in the cell with you, all this shit. But when the shit hit the fan, I throw my hands up and say, I'm a non-affiliate. Don't stab me. I ain't had nothing to do with that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Because again, if you hanging out with this crew, they're going to find you suspicious. You're a suspect. You can hang out with whoever you want to. Do your thing. I'm just telling you that if you hang out with a particular group, people automatically are going to assume you have that group's back, that you are part of that group in some way, bro. You can say you're not affiliated with them, but why are you partial to this group and this group only? So again, I'm going to end it the same way I started. Just be neutral. Do not straddle the fence. I don't care where you grew up at and who you know. I don't bang, and that's it. I know you. I'm going to fuck with you. I'm going to talk to you in the yard. I'm also going to talk to your worst enemy. I'm also going to go over there and shake their hand, give them some dap, and hug them up or whatever, bro. And I'm also going to break bread. I'm going to do burpees with you today and push-ups with your worst enemy tomorrow. I'm working out with you, and I'm working out with him because I don't have anything against either one of you. You just want to show that neutrality. You want to be neutral. That's it. And so, non-affiliates, they can make it in prison. They will not be preyed upon for the most part, no more than anyone else who doesn't have it coming. Just do not be a tuna. Mind your business. Respect everyone. Be a man. and be impartial. And you'll make it home like I did. You'll get out like anyone else because you are a man first. You know, people get it twisted thinking because you don't gangbang, you're not. No, you a man. Shit, I ain't finna let anybody harm me if I don't gangbang. No, if it's me or you, it's you, buddy. I don't give a fuck where you from. That's your mentality if you're a man, whether you gangbang or not. Keep that mentality. Just don't be turned up about it. Just don't be a turned up non-affiliate. A tuna. Guess what happens? People eat tuna. Mayonnaise on it. Boiled eggs. Turn you into a tuna salad. You don't want that. So don't be a tuna. Don't be a fish. Just be a man. And you'll make it. Stay safe and stay free, people.